As an avid fan of the Gundam franchise, it's always fun to try and lull others in, but with its myriad of shows, books, and anything in between, it quickly becomes obvious that jumping in can be quite scary for even the most patient among us. With that in mind, I've decided to create the Dummy's Guide to Gundam for any prospective fans. Among all the spots to start, the Cosmic Era is a fine choice for many reasons. With Gundam being a series with multiple timelines, the Cosmic Era is rich enough to satisfy, short enough to see an obvious end, available in multiple languages for accessibility reasons, and not too old or too young to set expectations in line. The greatest strength really is that the Cosmic Era is easy to identify because every piece of content contained within that period is titled with Seed somewhere on it, whether it be the books, the shows, or anything in between. The Cosmic Era is quite welcoming to newcomers of the Gundam world with its setting, but also introduces Gundam vernacular that will be useful for any further enjoyment of other parts. As such, it helps establish a strong baseline and is a quick and easy way to gauge your interest in exploring any deeper. Let's talk a little bit about the Cosmic Era. For the most part, humanity has entered the space age, with its exploration and colonization being in full bloom. Much like our own history, some colonies have started shifting away from wanting to remain under the dominion of others, and are trying to break away, usually through violent means. I don't want to delve too deep, but that's really the only context you need to get started. Looking at things from a more global point of view, the Cosmic Era encompasses everything with Seed in its name, with the start of the show being the 2002 show Mobile Suit Gundam Seed and its sequel Gundam Seed Destiny. There are also a few other interesting side stories in other books and shows, but we'll dive deeper into that later. Let's talk a little bit about why the Cosmic Era is a fantastic place to start. Being not too dense in relevant material makes it not overly intimidating, yet it is not too light to not feel worthwhile to jump into. The Cosmic Eras and the works that it holds will serve as a good guiding stick as to where you can head next within the Gundam universe. It is somewhat serious, yet not overly heavy with politics and melodrama, yet it has a nice sprinkling of sometimes childish behavior that keeps it relevant to all kinds of viewers. Although now almost 2 decades old, the series in question holds up quite well, especially in its remastered form. If what is shown is so aesthetically unpleasing to the point it ruins your enjoyment, then we know we can move away from the older classical ones and more into the modern era for further enjoyment. In summary, the Cosmic Era is a fantastic measuring stick, all while serving as a tool to lay the fundamentals, such as what a mobile suit is, the acceptance of enhanced humans, and the usual sprinkling of politics and actions that this franchise so often offers. Finally, it may simply show you that Gundam is not your thing, and that's okay too. So we've entered the Cosmic Era, but where to start? Let's start with the previously mentioned Gundam Seed. For all intents and purposes, when people talk about the Cosmic Era, they only really refer to Gundam Seed and its sequel Destiny, which are by far the most well-known entries to this era, and some of the most popular entries into the franchise, period. Gundam Seed follows Kira Yamato, a young but talented boy whose circumstances forces him to grow. Kira and his friends and allies escape to the stars to get away from warfare, but quickly find themselves thrusted into the middle of an all-out war. Both Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny hold 50 episodes for a combined episode count of 100, and at the time of this video's release you can even find full episodes to be watched on YouTube, whether it be on the Gundam Info channel or one of its partnered channels. With that said, I don't recommend watching this Gundam story in its original form. The main reason is that the original anime often had a significant chunk of each episode, seeming to tease the next episode or recap the last episode, which while useful back in the day when these were consumed on a week-by-week basis, now makes the entire experience of watching it one after the other a little less appealing. Instead, Gundam Seed has since been compiled and its excess fat cut off in the special edition, which brings the entire story down to a more easily digestible 3 separate movies. Similarly, the original Gundam Seed Destiny also had 50 episodes and received a similar treatment in its own special edition, which contained 4 separate movies. In 2011, a large chunk of the anime received an HD remaster, but I personally believe that it's better to pick and choose your favorite moments from the special edition to find the equivalent HD episode to view, rather than actually sit through the entirety. If you sat through the special editions, congratulations, you've for all intents and purposes experienced the Cosmic Era. However, there is still a little more to this segment of the Gundam timeline to explore if you are willing. In terms of other things you can sit down and watch, we have the 3 episodes, less than an hour, Gundam Seed Cosmic Era 73, Stargazer, which takes place roughly at the same time as Gundam Seed Destiny. It is without a doubt not required reading and falls within side story material, but I do believe it is a decent watch, at least visually. The Stargazer Gundam's model particularly remains one of my favorite designs, so there is some bias there. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Apart from the anime, there are also a set of mangas that fall within this period. A chunk of these mangas are either anime adaptations or recaps of the anime, and as such, really isn't worth your time. The other few compose the Gundam Seed Astray series, which give extra flavor to the world, showing us little side stories on a more grounded level. These are really hit or miss. If the anime did capture your attention, they may be worth a look, but don't force yourself, but it is a self-contained story, which is nice. Again, some may suggest other places to start, but the Cosmic Era feels to me like a perfect spot. Gundam Seed and the sequel Destiny offer a taste of everything that the Gundam franchise has to offer. For those who've had a taste and want to explore a little more, come back next time, where we'll visit the era that started it all, the Universal Century. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed part 1. This took a considerable amount of effort, so if you could go ahead and like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Not going to sell you on the channel, but hope it's worth your consideration.